What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sivaady Unleashed, and let's just get right into this video about this government shutdown. And who could have predicted today's events? We might have somebody by the name of Scott Jennings. This dude delivered on this one. Say what you want. This dude delivered on this one. Check this out.
How are Republicans going to use leverage in their fight with Democrats when the Democrats are actually the ones with the upper hand in the eyes of voters?
Oh, I'm sure Democrats will be more than happy to open the government now. The election's over. I mean, part of the reason they shut it down was to get through tonight.
I mean, I
would suspect they'll be opening up by the end of the week.
Adam Schiff, he was like, hold the line.
AOC, there's lots of rumors of people wanting to open it.
Look, I don't see what is the incentive for Democrats to back down when voters are basically saying Trump's not doing enough, it's the Republicans' fault, and then they basically handed the keys in this past election to the Democrats. Where's the leverage?
Again, these are blue states electing Democrats, not a shock. Democrats clearly wanted this shutdown to get through Election Day. I do think they are facing pressure from their internal coalitions. The unions, the air traffic controllers, the government employee unions are desperate to get the government back open. They're feeling a little bit of internal heat. But again, the election's now over. I'm sure tomorrow morning phones will start ringing and it'll be open soon enough. This was a political shutdown, and that's what they did, and now we're through the election day.
And right on schedule, what just happened this evening? And there you go. The Democrats seem to have given up. Kind of interesting right after these elections took place. Just as Scott Jennings was saying, my nephew was asking me because he wants to go out of town to see some of his distant family across the country. And he was like a little hesitant talking about, how the airline's doing. These people aren't getting paid. There's shortages. All kinds of crazy things are going on. You saw what happened with the UPS flight. That's terrible what happened with the engine fell. That's not on the air traffic controls, but that's crazy how that's just, God bless all those families, those people that have to deal with that. That's a awful situation. So my nephew was hesitant about flying and all that stuff because, these people aren't going to be, there's shortages, people aren't going to show up to work. And I told him, give it to about the end of this upcoming week. And man, it didn't even take that long. These people folded like a banquet chair because all this information was coming out. What have we been hearing over and over and over again? It's the Republicans' fault with the shutdown. This is coming from CNN and MSNBC. But what did we just slip up in here right here?
A big moment here. 7 Democratic senators, and we'll look to see. Fetterman just now voted 8, I am told. He makes the 8th senator, so we do have at least 60 Senate votes we expect here. This vote is still open. It's always possible someone could change their vote. Don't expect that to happen, though. Expect there to be at least 60 votes. The supermajority to break a Democratic-led filibuster, move towards final passage as soon as tonight or potentially early this week, Jess.
Hold on, let me hear that one more time.
Expect there to be at least 60 votes. The supermajority to break a Democratic-led filibuster.
Oh, now it's a Democrat-led filibuster. I thought it was on the Republicans. I thought they control the House, the Senate, and the White House. That's what I've been hearing on repeat for over 40 days. That's what I've been hearing. So now it's different. That's how you get to see no matter what they say or pretend to be, that's why they are the fake, phony, prosthetic news. These people should be ashamed of themselves. They put out a narrative. They get all these crazy liberals, your people that you work with, and crazy family members just acting like fools, only to say, oh, well, it's actually a Democrat-led filibuster. Why weren't they saying that 40 days ago? This is why you cannot trust the media. They work in conjunction with the Democrat Party. They are an extended arm of the Democrat Party, and that shows right then and there. So now you have these 8 senators that went with Republicans to open up this government after they could have done this weeks ago, but they're playing these games with the Mondani election, all this Spanberger, these crazy people in Virginia. So now you got these 8 Senate Democrats that they're just going to rake over the coals now. Even, you see John Fetterman still there. They are going to rake, you have your couple senators from Nevada. They are going to drag these individuals. They might even call them MAGA Republicans. You know how these crazy Democrats go off about this stuff. But it's going to be interesting to see all of this infighting. You got Chuck Schumer who's just going off on the Senate floor. I cannot in good conscience vote for this. And he's trying to pretend like he's a tough guy because he knows his future is over within the Democrat Party. AOC and them are going to completely remove him out of New York, period. He doesn't have to worry about that seat anymore. His political future is over and he knows it. So he's trying to pretend to be tough. His voice is cracking. If you listen to the whole thing, he just knows that he's completely shook because he's done. It's over. You see Nancy Pelosi leaving. He knows his time is over. But I just find it kind of interesting with the holidays coming up. They're talking about all these shortages at the airports. People aren't going to be able to come home to see their family and all this stuff. That the Democrats all of a sudden say, yeah, now we should vote. And what changed? Nothing. All that was promised is supposedly they're supposed to have a vote on these ACA subsidies in December. That's what they're supposed to be having a vote on. Even though these are supposed to be temporary, they threw these in during COVID. And this is all this taxpayer money that goes to this endlessly. The way you really fix this is have a completely new healthcare. The way that this is, everybody knows this is too expensive, period. You get completely ripped off. I had a ride in the ambulance one time. I believe it was like $5,000. And it was just right down the street. They took me from the accident right down the street. $5,000. So the healthcare and all that stuff, and I've had good insurance through casinos and all, that doesn't make no difference. They still tax the living hell out of you. So all that does need to be negotiated and changed. I agree with that. But the way they were doing it, holding these people hostage, having these air traffic controllers not getting paid, having Trump have to get money from the tariffs and all that just to prove he was right about that, to give to the military and to WIC and all, because if they didn't fund WIC, Trump is taking the milk and all that from the newborns and the infants, being that they've never cared about newborns or infants. Since when do they care about them? But that's a topic for another day. So he just showed that the tariffs can work that way. So we'll see how this whole vote goes down in December for this ACA, these subsidies and all that kind of stuff, because all they want to do is run on healthcare. They got away from the abortion issue and all that. That didn't work out for them. So now they're going to run on healthcare. Elect us and we're going to give you free healthcare and free groceries and free housing. They're just going to mimic what Mamdani was doing in New York City. And Chuck Schumer and all them can see this. That's why they wanted to completely stay away from him. But it's too late. It's like a virus that's already infected them and there's just no running away from it. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes, because that's what they need to run on healthcare, to say the Democrats are going to fix all this and the Republicans are taking this from you, even though we all lived through the last 4 years of absolute hell, but they acted like they weren't in charge during that time. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next one.